What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. As always, bringing you incredible guests from all over the world, so sit back, relax, and tune in. My next guest is a teacher of personal transformation. He is a lifelong student and salesman, 20 years health and fitness coach, 5 years soft tissue therapist, and also 3 years as a realtor. Please welcome Josh Parish. Josh, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you. So this is a long list of accomplishments, but before you were able to accomplish any of these incredible things, you have quite the background in a lot of setbacks and a lot of things that you self-imposed to overcome so you can kind of reach these different levels in life. I don't know where to start with you. I think maybe we should start with your father and how he, and that relationship there and how it was very disappointing for you.
Wow, deep dive immediately. I like it.
Yeah, let's get to it. Right to the juice, okay?
All right. So let me warm up here. Okay.
Yeah, I understand. Get it.
So my dad and I, he's passed away now. Died of COVID a couple years ago. But so I met him when I was about 22. We were spitting images of each other. So he knocked up my mom. He was 35. He was the playboy in town. My mom was the hot little thing. She was 20, 21. And he took her to the lake and showed her the lake house. And they
That was it.
thing over the weekend, right? So, he didn't want anything to do with me as a baby because he wanted to do his playboy thing. So, Mom, we ran off to Massachusetts. I was born in Lower Alabama, by the way.
Okay.
So we ran off to Massachusetts and, lived up there for a few years, kind of bounced around, met my stepdad. And I thought that my stepdad was my actual dad for the first 17 years or so of my life. But yeah, my dad, I saw his name on a billboard. Obviously, we had the same last name.
Yeah.
My mom had told me about him by then. And I called him up and I'm just like, hey, I'm your son. And he's like, I think you are. And so we went and had lunch and, I saw it in his eyes, it's like, oh, this is me 2.0. And there's wisdom in, your family might not always have your best interest at heart. Your bosses might not always have your best interest at heart because if they think that you can surpass them, then they're going to have that in the back of their mind. And Steve was a very vain man, heart of gold, but also he undercuts you real quick.
Yeah.
So he promised multiple things to me throughout, 22 to 30, every couple years, we'd have a falling out and then he'd promise something big to help me in business or teach me something. And I'd change my life and, in drastic ways, I'd go all in. So I always wanted to be in business with my dad, learn how he made money because he was in commercial real estate development.
Okay.
And I never really had that fathering of learning the ways to make money and wealth, right? Not just go get a job, but to actually do it in an entrepreneurial manner. I had a decade plus experience in sales before I ever met him.
Yeah.
But real estate is a unique game. There's so many options within it. You can make money 100 different ways, but then you're like, where do I go? So I really wanted to do real estate with him. But yeah, I mean, he just, he never kept his word with me, even though he let me down many, many times in my life. I do appreciate that he did let me down so much because, he gave me some Christmas gifts every now and then, a few $100 here and there. It was never anything massive.
Yeah.
But, it's one of the worst things, and I forget which philosopher said it, but he said one of the worst things you could ever be born with is a rich dad or a rich uncle. Because if you're just being served luxuries your entire life, you're just having it handed to you on a platter, born on third base, then you really don't have the opportunity to build that dog in you, right? To go out and fight and earn yourself. So every time he didn't come through for me, it hurt me deeply, but I never took it as a loss because I learned something from it.
Yeah.
And I've been guarded my entire life. Moved around every couple of years since I was like 6, 5. Around that age group, and just it was just it's just I forget my train of thought right there. But
That's all
yeah,
right.
so that
No worries. I have some comments. I
yeah.
think I have a distressed relationship with my father. Actually, I haven't talked to him in a couple of years, but he was a deadbeat. Left. I'm the oldest of 5, and he promised a lot of stuff to me too. Like would come into my life, promised me the sun, the moon, and the stars, and then he would have one of his meltdowns. Like he would just have a meltdown and like just lash out. And I finally, I've had it. Like I have no more daddy issues, so I'm good. We don't need to try and work on that relationship anymore. But I understand that feeling of, especially as a young adult, of like wanting a father figure in your life who's your actual father. And it does teach you and it teaches you a lot of lessons and gives you some thick skin, and it makes you and I feel like it almost makes you want to work harder to prove yourself.
Right. Yeah, and because I wasn't getting the education that I sought from him,
Yeah.
that's what led me to take so many jobs. I tried college 4 or 5 times, start and stop, and I'm like, I can't read this in a book. I have to go get this type of job to go through this training and extract that wisdom. Then I would get fired or quit. And I've had hundreds of jobs. Like I have no shame in that but I've had excellent training in the field, and that's where the rubber hits the road. Is the actual you've got experience on your side instead of just the theories.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you listen to Andy Frisella, real AF. He's a big believer in that you don't have to go to college. I'm not. I've done a little college. I myself, like, I've learned, like, just doing it myself, just getting down in the dirt, and I think that's the best way to learn, because they don't teach you certain things in school that you learn like hands on.
Right.
Like that real life experience is more valuable, I think, than any college degree they can give you. You had a setback a while ago that you have had to go through some recovering with. You want to talk to us about that?
Yeah. So right around the time of my father's passing, 2021, died of COVID, but he had prior heart conditions and whatnot. So I have been in real estate 3+ years now, and all these stressors kind of hit me all at one time at the beginning of 2021. It was the pain of my father's passing. I had a great mentor that fired me. She's a Hall of Fame realtor, sold $1 billion in real estate. She decided that, too many roosters in the hen house, right? Because we're definitely two high D individuals, very dominant, and I extracted the wisdom from her, and she had a great time as me as the Padawan, but that came to the end of the road. Then I had a girl that I was really into. She ghosted me, and then so all these different types of stressors. There was financial stressors as well, because now I don't have that mentor, and I'm on my own in real estate. And when you're with a Hall of Fame realtor, a lot of things are done for you with the systems and processes and whatnot.
Sure.
So there's many, many different types of stress, and they all came crashing down on me at one time. So financial, familial, professional, relationship, like love life. And then I have all these athletic injuries because I've just always thrown my body like into competition. Just, there's a difference between health and competition. And I teach health, but when you're going for the win, you're going for the win. Like you put your health to the side, and I've worked like that a tremendous amount with my physical self. So like 5 different types of stressors just came crashing down on me February 2021, and it manifested in my right leg. And my right leg's dominant leg, because I pitched and played a lot of sports and whatnot. But I actually, it manifested over in nerve pain, and it was like 9 out of 10. So I couldn't really walk that well. It changed the way I walked, like I walked with a limp. In my right calf, I used to have huge shapely calves, but my right leg atrophied around the calf like 2.5 inches. Wow. And so I would lay there in my apartment, and I would cry and fast. Like I fasted. it was 6 weeks long, and I didn't fast for the entire 6 weeks. I would go a week and then break the fast, and another week and break the fast, and I would lay on the floor and pray. And luckily, I knew how to call people on the phone and get to sell their house because, like, I couldn't have done anything else.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I was making money.
Why did you fast? I'm just curious.
Because that's the way people over the course of history have heard from God.
Okay.
And really and truly, like, fasting, it's not just food. It could be from stimulus, from vice, from everything. And silence and stillness really takes you to a place of clarity. So the food, like, I definitely didn't eat, but, emotionally I wasn't trying to go, hang out with new women.
Yeah.
And I don't watch TV. So I would just lay on the floor and I would work and I would think about, what I'm going through.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, every single day for like 6 weeks, 2 months, I wanted to die because my leg was on fire.
Yeah.
And pain is a filter over your perception of the world. So, and I'm a coach, a teacher of transformation.
Yeah.
People that deal with these physical pains, like, before you go get in great shape, you have to deal with the pain in your life, because you can't go exercise and go be your best self when you're in pain. Like, if you won the lotto, you won the Powerball, $1 billion, and you have the severe back pain, well, you're going to feel good. That's going to take your mind off the back pain. But in 3 days time, you're going to be like, hell, I got severe back pain, and you'll throw a bunch of money at it and try to get relief. But filter, I mean, your filter, your glasses, I mean, pain is the biggest one. Yeah. So you gotta assess that first, and attacking your foundations of yourself before you go and try to build on more. Because if you build on a weak foundation, you're not going to keep the gains. You may travel fast, but then you're going to backslide and lose it all if you don't actually have that solid foundation.
So that's what I was leading up to. You've definitely have built a solid foundation for yourself over through all the things that you've gone through. Anybody that's listening that may have had not the best relationship with their parents, or anyone that's may have gone through a setback, a physical setback or a health setback, and, are looking for encouragement or an inspiration to get through it. You are a great example of, just that resilience that we have. And I think that, when I have guests like you on here, it's important for people that are listening that if they are going through something hard, that their trauma or their setbacks does not define them, and they don't have to stay where they're at. And so for you, as going through all this and now being a teacher of personal transformation, you speak from experience and can really help someone that might be in a similar situation.
Absolutely. Reality shifts in minuscule ways as we progress in time.
Yeah.
We're never standing still. And it's really neat because I teach people how to think instead of what to think. And if you can extract lessons out of your losses, like, you get knocked down, you figure out, like, hey, how do I not get knocked down in that situation again? Or how can I win in this moment? Wherever you are, like, what's my best option to get a win? Like, what can I do? Because you create momentum, right?
Yeah.
And if you're always thinking about how can I win in this moment and your highest priorities, then you're just checking these boxes. And it's like the merry-go-round deal in the park, right? You take some
round and round we go.
But then once it's spinning fast, you don't have to do too much with it. You just you hit it every now and then, and just the creation of the momentum. It's not crazy. You just have to do the little things that you promise yourself, and just stick with it.
Yeah.
If you say you're going to do it, just do it. Come through with it, and just keep moving forward.
And so, who it would be like your ideal avatar client?
Also, I've worked with a lot of folks from many different ways of life. I've worked with kids. I've worked with 85-year-old grandmas, and really and truly, there's no client avatar, but it's more of a mindset.
Okay.
And they may or they are feeling in a disempowered state, but they're ready for change, right? And they will listen and they will do what they're told, and they will listen to one person at the time, because far too often we get on that YouTube and we go and watch 12 different coaches at one time, and then our uncle wants to tell us something, and then, but, oh, we remember Dr. Oz said this 6 years ago on Oprah, and like, it's just like, you don't know which way you're going. Like, but really and truly, if you can just focus and seek out one mentor, coach, source of information at a time.
Yeah.
Play it out until you're done. But ultimately, we're our own best coach, because we know exactly what we're doing, where we're messing up. We know when we're sinning. And when I say sin, I'm not talking about a biblical sense, but there's a God that lives within us, and we create our reality through our, how we move through the world, our decisions, right? But we know where we're screwing up. Like, I used to binge eat for stress. I knew that I worked out all day long, but then I'd, 10, 30, 11 o'clock at night would roll around and I'd eat a box of cereal.
Oh, wow.
And then like wake up with the bellyache, and then it was just that I'm recovering in the morning because I got the bellyache. And then, if you're going drinking beer every night, I was a beer drinker. I love beer. But if you really want to progress and progress rapidly, you got to highlight your vices and the things that are going to make you take back steps. Because if you stop taking back steps, you're only going to move forward.
Yeah.
And if you only move forward and you're only doing things where you progress, well, you'll get a lot further down the road than you think, quicker than you think.
Okay.
It's when we're like, oh, I'm going to change, but then I'm going to drink the beers, and I'm going to be on the dating apps where it takes my mind away from what I should be doing. And I'm going to, do this over here and eat this ice cream. It's just whenever we start adding in all this stuff in our new lifestyle, it's like, well, we're just back in the old lifestyle, right? We're just trying to do a few new habits, and the few new habits are like nothing. So it's just, quit taking the bad steps. You're going to move forward.
Yeah, there you go. With that being said, if someone's listening and they want to move forward with you, where can they reach you and connect with you?
Instagram.com/TheJoshParish, TheJoshParish.
I like the Josh Parish. I love that. You guys, I'm going to put that link in the show notes. So if you connected with Josh's story today and feel that he can make an impact in your life to stop taking those back steps and just only move forward, go click that link, go give him a follow, go check him out and shoot him a message. Obviously, I'm sure he'd love to chat with you and see if it's a good fit. So go ahead, check him out, click that link. Don't hesitate. Now's a chance to move forward in your life. Josh, this is the part of the show where I like to ask for last words of wisdom or advice. What would you like to leave with us today?
Mastery is found within the basics, repeated over and over and over. So you don't have to be super complex in your day-to-day in order to find success in your highest self. You just find those handful of action items that you can do day in and day out that are good for you, and you'll go way further than people around you. That's for sure. You'll hit the right direction.
I love that. Do that and start fasting.
It helps.
I think I'm going to start fasting because I'm like intrigued. Maybe I should do like a couple day fast. Anyways, Josh, thank you so much for being vulnerable, sharing your story, and just showing us the foundation that you laid to kind of pursue this life that's keeping you in a forward momentum phase. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. We really appreciate you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. You guys, this is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. As always, don't forget to subscribe, follow, rate, review, comment, share, all those good things. And I'll be back soon. More dynamic guests.